For more on the story, let's go to Guy Bisson in London. He's the Executive Director at Ampere Analysis. Welcome back to the program, Guy. Now, a historic loss for Disney. It took an almost $5 billion hit in the last quarter. How much of that was due to the forced closures of its lucrative theme parks around the world?
So Disney said that about 3.5 billion of that was the hit from the theme parks. Looking into their results, it's very clear the two sectors that were worst hit. Number one, of course, was the theme parks, which have remained shut for much of lockdown. And the second worst hit area was the theatrical, the cinema movie business, where revenue was half what it was in the same period, the same quarter last year. But theme parks was absolutely the major hit for the company.
Yes, and no surprises there, really. But the lockdowns did lead to a surge in subscribers for its streaming services, including Disney+. Apparently, that service got around 60 million users in nearly 9 months, something that took Netflix about 8 years to achieve. Is streaming the future money spinner for Disney?
I think Disney's probably thanking its lucky stars that it launched Disney Plus when it did. It's grown very, very strongly. With the other streaming services that Disney owns, Hulu and a sports service, ESPN, they have 100 million streaming customers globally. So a very important part of the business now, accounting for about 34% of their revenue, up from just 12% as a contributor last year. That's the direct-to-consumer business, which does include some pay TV assets in India. But nonetheless, certainly that is the bright spot in this otherwise quite shocking but expected results round.
Now, it was interesting to see the market reaction because despite the historic multi-billion-dollar loss, we saw shares actually rally 5% for Disney, and that was after the CEO announced that it was launching a new streaming service next year. Is there an appetite for yet another streaming service in a market that's already flooded with competitors, not to mention Netflix, which is still number one?
So there is. We've done some research that says that we're not anywhere near the ceiling for the number of streaming services people should be able to take in terms of the spend when we benchmark that against traditional pay TV. But the other important thing about Disney's strategy is that they're able to bundle multiple services together. So it's very much like the old days of pay TV, where you took a package of channels. With Disney now, you can take a package of streaming services, and that's a single purchase rather than multiple. So you may take Disney Plus for the kids, you may take sports for yourself, and the new service, which is to be branded Star, and more general entertainment for the wider adults in the household. So it's actually a very clever strategy in terms of positioning for the future of television.
Yes, and one that's paid off during this pandemic at least. Guy Bisson from Ampere Analysis in London, thank you again for your